Well, hello, and it's a sad goodbye. What does that mean, Bob? Welcome to our final episode in our series of PSAs, public service announcements, introducing the programs of the Orleans TV Internetwork, headquartered in New Orleans, Louisiana, and broadcasting throughout the globe. Now, why do you say it's the last? Because for those really special people who've been watching know that there are two within the series that we have not released a PSA. One is pending. It's very importantly because it's a show that we're relaunching, and it involves a permanent co-host, and that host is having a little technical difficulty on their end, which we're trying to resolve immediately so we can restart that program, which I know is going to appeal. It had broad appeal, certainly to the ladies, but when you see its broader application that this person expanded it from, who'll be our co-host, piping all the way in from California. Um, I think you'll see why. And the other one is another one we brought over from the other internet, and didn't do well with regard to transferring the logo, so we had to reassign it to my artist, and he will be taking a shot at recreating that so we can do those two. But they will really be all of the shows have been in the except for this one have been in the sequence of when they came out, not an exact date, but the sequence of time in their chronological life sequence. This one was a one shot only on our very first broadcasting system that we're recreating, and this one is a fluid. This when we get to the logos, which we're about to, we'll understand why. So right now you can see me with a hat, a lovely hat, and some antennae coming out of the hat. Wow, why is that? Well, first of all, the parent production company is called Revue, RREVUE. Okay, and that was symbolized at our first venue, which was 15 years on a local cable New Orleans network. And our primary parent program was called Restaurant Review, featuring the chefs and restaurants in New Orleans. Okay, inspiring, especially up and coming chefs and restaurants. The established ones get their own coverage. And so we depicted it with the logo brand is what the word is. You're seeing up in the upper right corner a black and white image of an ant with a red star. Bob tried to be cute by creating red star ant as being represented by a red star on an ant for restaurant. Okay, restaurant review. Got it? Kind of dated, but we've kept it. And what we did was to start as we started expanding the programs under the review company, we would simply change the object that the ant was holding. So in the original program, they saw it was a beautiful covered silver dish, which food was within, I guess. And each one has been changed to see what the ant will hold and give it a clue. Since we started our own network, we said, well, what we need to do now is put some pop in it. So we recreated all of them with these fabulous backgrounds, not only holding. So now you can know not only by the what the is holding, but also by the significant pop of the color. So just remember the color of any of the programs you want. As we said, this is number 13 in a series of 13. It doesn't mean it's a never ending PSA. As we expand our programs, we'll do one. It'll be a lot easier than this crash course that we've been doing over a period of a week. Um, but the nature of this program is called Real Review. Oh, Bob, you already have one. You're so old, you're forgetting. Oh, Bob, poor Bob. No, there's a slight differential. The real review we talked about in whatever episode that was, I'd have to go to my cheat sheet for that, was spelled REEL. It was a film, TV, uh, practitioners and providers show, okay, where you saw film clips of works people working on or have worked on, etc. This is spelled REAL, the real, okay. which is really a program about personality. Okay. How are you a character or a personality of interest? And we all have our stars. We don't realize that. We're too busy when we're young, and I don't sound like I'm preaching, which I don't like to do. I love to be authoritative, but not necessarily to preach. But, we never think about us creating a story. Some people are very intuitive and do that, though, because they always pass on their legacy. But once, as we get older, as we get someone who is intuitive, he or she will confide about their story, and their story will come out. Of course, it's tragedies and usually some comedy, and if not all comedy, in their lifelong story. So, and whether you're a celebrity of local or international fame, then that is your story. Now, because we don't pretend to be bringing some of the pop stars of the globe. No one from Bollywood, to my knowledge, will be here. Uh, but we started off, and as I mentioned, we only had one show. So I brought on one of my closest friends to do the real show, which, like I say, did not develop beyond that show. And that gentleman was the former mayor of the city of New Orleans. I won't be giving his name out because it protects his identity unless you want to go back, which we didn't talk about. If you can go back and see any of our older shows by going to the YouTube R Review channel, R Space Review, subscribing while you're there, and looking under videos will be all of our TV shows. And under one of those, you'll see the gentleman who was starred in that particular program. If you want to see the things we're on the internet for the last 2 years, before this year and the previous year, go to the playlist, and those will show you some of the new programs and some of the guests who are from the world as opposed to just being New Orleans. Okay, like I said, we will finish off this series with the two that we've skipped as soon as we have the wherewithal resolved from the technological difficulties, and then put the package to bed. As you know, we're promoting these on Facebook on three profiles. Bob Bockelman, you see in the New Deal, My Dinner Club, and NOTVIN, the Facebook site, and as well as on YouTube, which we're going to try and start taking some of these down, putting on Instagram to also draw some interest from that platform. Okay. So the original program probably was a half an hour. I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know. But we want to try and make it an hour program. And the reason why I said this, and let's take a better look at this. I mean, I'm babbling on, Bob. Okay, now what did let's take a look at first of all. There you go. Isn't he a dapper ant? Yes, he's got his tails on, carrying that beautiful cane, nice looking boots, I guess that is, and his derby, his black derby with his antennae coming out. Nothing to, don't want to squeeze those poor little babies to death, huh? So we'll certainly use this for real. Now, whether it stays with real or we use it as a general introductory of newer shows, we'll see. And it might land eventually on some other program that we've new creation that it might fit better. Anyway, we wanted to do something generic, showing that everyone is picture perfect or whatever. So we use this particular little emoji or whatever. I don't know what you call those things. I'm too old. Let's talk now about last couple of things, which I always talk about. Target. As we said, that these shows will our regular program will start in February 2020. We've already broadcast last Monday night one of our shows, Artist Review, as a sneak preview from a local New Orleans artist. Got good feedback on that. This Tuesday, February the 4th at 7 o'clock Central Time will be our first attempt. Well, no, it'll be a third attempt because we'll tell you about another one in a second, but our first real broadcasting schedule. On Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, 10 and a half hours added to India, 7 hours to Europe, 23 hours to Australia and New Zealand. Anyway, that show will be called Realty Review, which we've already heard from, and will feature a real estate agent and his or her, and it'll be a lovely her for the first one, presenting a listing that she is involved with and doing a video tour, we hope, of the place. Anyway, we're hoping that you will find it. And that program is still in its not only its creative stage, but also we're looking to expand it to another specialty to pair these two together. Will eventually make into a challenge. Everybody loves realities challenge shows. So if that develops, I think it'd be really unique. Not that it's not interesting, but to make it even more unique. So that's Tuesday night, the 4th of February, 7 o'clock Central Time. We also have the debut of the previous episode, PSA, Reader's Review. And there'll be more of the literary, those. Anyway, let me bring us back here instead of you getting drenched with these things. There we go. We have a local author who will be releasing his new book, or has just released it. Uh, will be gracious enough to give it. It's very topical about New Orleans, and everybody loves New Orleans things, but specifically for a certain niche. So we'll be so glad to see him and hear him. And if he has any other books, we'll talk about that. So join us for Reader's Review, and that's on February the 18th, again a Tuesday. It'll be on at 8 p.m., immediately following the weekly broadcast of Realty Review from 7 to 8. So if you're up for both, see us both. But 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 Pacific, and 9 Eastern Time, and all those others. So lastly, we're attempting, and this is hoping it's going to work out. We have to test it Friday morning of this week. We'll be testing our first version of Rarity, which we've also just seen. That was a really special logo with the beautiful pop pink, like this pop purple with the green vase the aunt was holding. And this is a very unique auction of hidden away treasures from England, Scotland, and some other European that has been hidden away for like 45 years in a warehouse and not acted upon. And the current Miss is trying to liquidate that on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of each weekend. We're going to catch, and only certain hours, so we're going to catch the 2 to 4 p.m. segment of Friday afternoon. That's it. If it works in the morning, now if you don't see it, that means we still got more technology to do. But we're hoping for the first episode of Rarity Review to be this Friday, the last Friday of the month of January, at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. That'll be noon for you lunchers in California, and it'll be maybe to return to work at 1 for you Yorkers. Okay, I think that's it, except we have to solicit, if I hadn't done already. That's one solicitation, is that we, of course, ask you to pass our programming on by word of mouth to your friends, neighbors, relatives, whomever you can stop on the street. And if you, for some reason, are reluctant to talk, then use the social media as your mouth. And let's get us some more viewers, please, and subscribers, because we really want to make this thing go for you all. I've been, working at it a while, and maybe you're tired of me, and we can find a successor. But as part of the solicitation, we ask you to send us guest names or contacts for any of the specialties that we have already identified, but anything that you think might make a great show, okay? Because we're constantly looking for new, especially now having a lot of open time to broadcast, so we can certainly try it out. And friendly or somebody would like to try to be a host or a co-host of a show. I'll co-host with anyone if they're nice, and put them on the broadcast so they can try it out, see if they want to do their own thing. And of course, we understand we're competing with the individual selfie and the individual Facebook Live, all the other things they can do themselves. So if that's all they want to do, that's fine. If they want to formalize it a little bit, then come try us out. Again, nothing venture, nothing whatever that's going. As for the schedule, like I said, we don't have a schedule for this show. We will try and supplement with a program schedule that we'll put out on the social media, so you'll know which day and time of the week that a show, given a continuing show, will be broadcast. Okay, and let's see, and I think that's it. So it's au revoir, bon voyage. Well, that's the same thing, but au revoir, and all the other terms that we need to say goodbye. Thank you for bearing with us this 13. And if we get new ones, they'll be coming out. And watch for the two missing in action ones because they should be out hopefully this week and next week, as soon as we get those resolutions. And please stay tuned to our programming. And we appreciate it. As I love to say, stay tuned soon. Uh, as someone always says, signing out, I'm Bob Bockelman. Take care, boys and girls.